Good morning, everyone. I hope we are all doing well and safe. This report is pre-recorded solely for the purpose of this class. If you have your questions, clarifications, or additional information about the report, please do take note of it and it will be entertained right after this video. Thank you. On our previous meetings, we already discussed the introduction and overview to public finance administration. For today, I will be discussing about public finance. So, public finance is one of the oldest branches of economic theory. Public finance was born when the concept of government started. According to Hugh Dalton, a British Labour Party economist and politician who served as Chancellor of the Exchequer from 1945 to 1947, public finance is the branch of economics that assesses the government revenue and government expenditure of the public authorities and the adjustment of one or the other to achieve desirable effects and avoid undesirable ones. So we have here another definition of public finance. It is the study of the income and expenditures of a government entity. It deals solely with the finances of the government. It is concerned in the way of managing the public funds in the economy of the country, which plays the most important role in the development and growth of the nation. Hence, the finance is called as public finance because the role of the public is large in terms of contribution. So we now move forward with the scope of public finance. The scope of public finance is broad. It is not only restricted to public revenue and public expenditure, but it is also concerned with the debt and financial administration. So let's have it one by one. So first is public income or revenue. As the name suggests, public income refers to the income of the government. So it is the collection of money from the public by way of direct and indirect taxes, penalties, fines, fees, maintenance, and etc. So tax income is easy to recognize because it is the tax paid by the people of the country, such as income tax, sales tax, service tax, and etc. So on the other hand, uh, non-tax income includes interest income from lending money to other countries, rent and income from government properties, and donations from the world organizations. So taxes will be further discussed by the next reporter. Second is public expenditures. So public expenditure is the money spent by the government entities for infrastructure facilities, health facilities, educational, and the like. So these um, facilities are intended for the benefit and welfare of the general public. Third is public debt. When public expenditure exceeds public income, the gap is filled by borrowing money from the public or from the other countries or world organizations such as the World Bank. So these borrowed funds are public debt. And the last scope of public finance is financial administration. It studies the procedure to be followed by the government in imposing and collecting taxes, spending the collected money, and getting the government income and expenditure audited by a competent authority. So it is an all-encompassing term for all those functions or operations having the objective to make funds and finance available for the government to carry out their respective duties and responsibilities. And also ensuring that there is a lawful and efficient use of public funds. So here in the Philippines, we have the Commission on Audit or the COA, who is responsible for auditing the income and expenditures of the government agencies. Having mentioned the scope of public finance, we now move on to its functions. So there are three functions of public finance, and these are the following. So we have the allocation, distribution, and stabilization. So allocation, it deals with the allocation of public goods. The allocation function studies how to allocate public expenditure most efficiently to reap maximum benefits with the available public wealth. So the government has to perform various functions such as maintaining law and order, defense against foreign attacks, providing healthcare and education, building infrastructure, and the list is endless. The performance of these functions, or of this function rather, requires large scale of expenditure, and it is important to allocate the expenditure efficiently. This year, the government budget is 4.1 trillion pesos. It's 12% higher than the 2019 budget, which was 3.6 trillion pesos. The top 10 departments with the highest funds are the following. So we have here the DepEd, the DPWH, DILG, DSWD, DMD, Department of Health, Department of Transportation, Department of Agriculture, Judiciary, and the DENR. On the next three slides, you will see the 2020 budget spending priorities. We have here the human capital development, which includes education, health, and social protection. In here, you can see the PORPIS or Pantawid Pamilyang Pilipino program. So unconditional cash transfer, and in health, we have the universal health care. And education, there is the universal access to quality tertiary education, basic education facilities program, and educational assistance and subsidies. We also have here infrastructure development. We have the Build program. We also have here the network development program for air transportation, sea transportation, the railway transportation. So we also have food security and for peace and national security. So we have here the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Masna Mindanao, the Department of National Defense, the PNP, and the Judiciary. So last month, the DBM released the 2021 proposed national budget. This will focus on containing the spread and mitigating the effects of the pandemic. It is entitled Reset, Rebound, and Recover, Investing for Resiliency and Sustainability. So it is around 4.5 trillion proposed cash budget for fiscal year 2021. The top 10 departments with the highest proposed budgets are the following. So it's almost the same. It's just that the Department of Health is now on the 5th place and the DSWD ranked down to 6th. So all the figures already reflect the adjustments for the funds for COVID-19 response. So we have here the DepEd, DPWH, and the DILG, and some other departments. The 2021 spending priorities is divided into three. First is reset, responding to the pandemic. So it pertains to universal health care. As you can see in here, We have the provision for COVID-19 vaccine, procurement of personal protective equipment, and of course, the National Health Insurance Program. For rebound or reviving infrastructure development, you can still see here the Build program of the government. And the last one is recover or adapting to the post-pandemic life or the new normal. So we have the food security, the industry and livelihood program, the social protection, and for education, of course. So for the complete copy of the 2020 budget and the 2021 proposed budget, you can visit the DBM website. After the allocation, the next is distribution of income and wealth. The distribution function of public finance is to lessen the inequalities as much as possible through redistribution of income and wealth. In public finance, there are three primary measures outlined to achieve this target. So first is a tax transfer scheme or using progressive taxing. In simpler words, charging higher tax from the rich and giving subsidies to low income. The next one is these progressive taxes can be used to finance public services, such as affordable housing and healthcare. And the last one is a higher tax can be applied to luxury goods. And the last function of public finance is the stabilizing the economy. So public finance has to adopt measures to regain stability of the economy. Every economy goes through periods of downs and ups. The objective of stabilization function is to eliminate or at least reduce the fluctuations and its impact on the economy. Policies such as deficit budgeting during the time of depression and surplus budgeting during the time of boom helps achieve the required economic stability. So this year, because of the pandemic, the economy, not just here in the Philippines, but all over the world, are all affected. And so every country is doing everything to make the economy back on track while embracing the new normal. So to conclude, a well-managed public finance can help a country to grow its economy, generate employment, stabilize the price, and eradicate the poverty. So to speak, there will be an economic development. In here, it's a win-win situation for both the government and the public. As the quality of life of its citizen is improving, the government is gaining the trust of the people. So to end my report, I want to share this to you. This is my guide on handling my finances because at an early age, I already know the value and importance of handling your own finances in the most efficient and effective way. So this is just a friendly reminder. First, make a personal budget plan. Always seek opportunity to invest and save. Needs should always be prioritized. Emergency funds should be available. And of course, yes to financial stability. Because you'll never know what will happen in the next days or in the future. So, contentment also is the answer. Because the best lifestyle is a contented lifestyle. So, that's all for my report. Thank you for listening and I hope you learned something. Thank you.